Well, it's been getting so cold out that the automatic watering system for the quail has been freezing up. So I'm having to bring out water in jugs. So I'm hoping today, maybe it'll finally thaw out a little bit. They're saying it's supposed to get above freezing today. So I've been giving them just waters like this. It does look like they stayed thawed overnight, so that's good. In Missouri, we've had a pretty mild winter, but this past week it's been down to the low 20s at night, which is pretty cold for us. That new feeder that I built for the quail is working out great. I ended up adding these vinegar bottles to the top as a funnel, and I can just fill these up and it fills right down into the new feeder. It's been working out great. This time of year we also have to give the rabbits water. Their water bottles just freeze up, so we hand water and feed a couple times a day. We also don't move the tractors every day this time of year. It's better to leave them in one spot for a couple days to allow them to have some straw, and then we'll move them once things warm up just a little bit again. The other thing we do is put buckets of water, or in this case buckets of ice, on top of the tractors. We're supposed to get 40-mile-an-hour winds today, and these will blow open if they don't have something on them. In this weather, the rabbits sure don't eat or drink much, but I think they're just trying to stay still and stay warm. This year we need to take the greenhouse a little more seriously when it comes to trying to keep it a little bit warmer so we can use it a little bit more effectively. But the first thing I need to do is make sure that we're eliminating as many drafts as we can. Our greenhouse has roll-up sides, which helps tremendously in the summer to be able to help get airflow, but in the winter it does allow some drafts. So today I'm going to add some extra wiggle wire to the greenhouse and see if we can get some of those drafts sealed up. Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. Well, it's been a while since we brought you a video from out in the greenhouse. I've been using it over the winter as kind of a workshop to make things like the quail cage that I just recently made. But we haven't used it a whole lot this winter for growing in, but it's time to start thinking about that and some of the improvements that we're going to try to make to the greenhouse this spring.
Last year we put up this greenhouse, or high tunnel, whatever you want to call it. It was a kit that we got from growersolution.com, and it has worked out fantastic for us. This is an unheated greenhouse, so that does come with some challenges. But last year we found a solution that at least worked for us for one season, and that was to create some heat boxes for our seedlings. Each of them had a heat lamp in it, and it did really well for us. But this year we're really wanting to expand how many seedlings we start for ourselves and to sell at the farmer's market. So we're thinking about some changes, what we can do in the greenhouse to help with that.
So our goals with the greenhouse, we're trying to keep them pretty realistic. We don't want to turn this into a tropical greenhouse where it's, 70 degrees, 24 hours a day, and just where we can grow citrus and stuff like that. That's not what we're talking about when we talk about wanting to heat the greenhouse. We really have two goals in mind. Our first goal is to be able to grow more plants in here during the winter. Now, again, like I said, we're not wanting to keep this into like a tropical type environment. We're not wanting to raise warm weather plants during the winter. We can't afford to run enough heat in here to make that type of, environment for the plants. So our goal really is to just keep the temperature above freezing at night over the winter. During the day, we have no problem. The greenhouse gets up to probably 75 or 80 degrees on a nice sunny day in the winter. It's the nighttime temperatures that we need to worry about. So we're hoping to be able to use a little bit of that heat from the day to help overnight. And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
It'd be great over the winter to be able to grow more leafy greens, but also cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, those kinds of things.
Right.
We're not really wanting to do tomatoes or peppers, other warm weather kinds of plants, but those cold weather, brassicas, maybe turnips, that kind of thing, that would be awesome.
Right. Yeah, anything that would work well in late fall, early spring type plants are what we would want to do all winter long.
Right. Now our goal with seedlings out here is to hopefully keep the temperature above 40 at night. Now let me back up a little bit. We aren't hoping to germinate seeds out here. We germinate all of our seeds in the house. We have a system that's been working out really well for us, and then after they're up a few days, then we bring them out to the greenhouse, and that's where they grow up. So creating an environment out here in the greenhouse that doesn't get lower than 40 will hopefully ensure that those seedlings can thrive, not just survive, because we believe that as long as it doesn't freeze, they won't die. But we want them to grow really well. Now, we understand that there are some plants that we will be starting and will grow out here in the greenhouse that are a little bit more tender and really do best at about 50 degrees as the lowest, like tomatoes, peppers, those kinds of things. So we do understand that we will probably have to use our heat boxes some, but by keeping the outside temperature at night 40 degrees or above, that reduces the amount of plants that we have to put in those heat boxes.
So we've been looking at several different options of how we think we can make all of this work together and stay within our budget. There's a few things that we've already decided are just out of the question. We cannot afford to just simply run enough propane heat out here to heat the greenhouse all the time as it is right now. We also can't afford the electricity to just run electric heaters. It would just be way too expensive to run that much electricity all the time to keep this thing heated the way that it is right now. The first thing that we need to do is really start knowing what our highs and lows are in the greenhouse. We need to establish a baseline of what the highest temperatures during the day and what the lowest temperatures during the night are getting during this time of year. This is our coldest time of year here in Missouri. January is always our coldest month. I'm looking into a couple different systems online that will have remote sensors that I can monitor from in the house, and it'll show me, you know, by the hour or you know, by the minute, what the temperatures are within the greenhouse.
Another couple that is subscribed to our channel, they have a greenhouse just like us. And they contacted us and let us know that they have implemented a water barrel system in their greenhouse, and they are seeing a 12-degree difference overnight between the outside temperature and the inside temperature, and we have found that very encouraging. Right,
in this part of Missouri, we don't get really cold in the winter. I mean, we do have stretches, you know, a couple days here and there where it will get down into the 20s or even maybe the teens, but that's pretty rare. Most of the time our winter temperatures are more in that upper 20s, low 30s kind of range. So if we could raise the temperature in here by 12 degrees overnight, that could really be a game changer for us when it comes to growing plants. Another thing that we're at least considering, although it may be hard to implement yet this year, is switching the plastic on our greenhouse from the single wall plastic that we're using now to a double walled plastic. The double walled plastic actually has a pocket of air because of a little fan that runs, and that helps you know, give more insulation value to the greenhouse. So that's something we're considering, but again, I don't think we could do that during the winter. I think we would need to wait and do that probably next fall to test out next winter. So those are some of the systems that we're thinking about using. We'd love to hear advice from you guys. You know, are there other solutions that we're not thinking about that you think may work? Again, we can't afford the propane and we can't afford electricity, so those systems are out. But if there's other passive types of systems that we're not thinking about, we'd love to hear that from you guys.
We have really loved having this greenhouse, not only just to grow seedlings, but it has really become a multi-purpose kind of area for us to do projects in and things like that. If you are interested in knowing more about this greenhouse, you can find out more information from growersolution.com. They actually have a 10% off coupon code called Traditionalist10, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. But we'll put their web address in the description below. Make sure you check them out.
So hey, if this is your first time visiting our channel, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button before you leave. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to share it on all of your social media. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as well. And until next time, thanks for stopping by the homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.